Come on in, pull up a chair, and take a load off because today I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty from Adult Swim and Wizards of the Coast. So, will this adventure turn out to be as wacky a mashup as it sounds? I don't know. I haven't taken this out of the box yet, but we will get a first peek right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. As I mentioned in the open, we are going to take a first look at Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty, which I find the title interesting because IDW Publishing did a couple of comic book series, and it was Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons. So we've got to turn this around. So I'm pretty excited to take a peek at this. I am keeping my fingers crossed that Wizards of the Coast learned their lesson with that awful Stranger Things box set that they came out with, which I gave a big thumbs down to. Ugh. Well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty, as I mentioned, is from Adult Swim and Wizards of the Coast. The adventure is for up to 5 characters. It's for players ages 13 and up. This is going to carry an MSRP of $19.95 when it arrives in stores on November 19th. So let's swing on over to the other camera and see what we've got in the box. So here we have Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty. It's a freaking Rick dungeon, wubble up dub dub. All right, let's get this shrink wrap off here. So the premise, as far as I understand, and it tells you right on the back of the box, is this is supposed to be a dungeon that Rick has created. So it says, I made it to chew up the Jerrys of the world. So it's a meat grinder, Morty. So this is supposed to be kind of a Tomb of Horrors kind of adventure is what I'm getting out of it. It's going to include a 64-page rulebook, the Lost Dungeon of Rickedness, Big Rick Energy, a 44-page original adventure, the little DM screen, 5 pre-gen character sheets, and a set of dice as well. So let's crack this open and take a look. So as I mentioned earlier, I am hoping that this is not like that awful Stranger Things edition. So we don't see, there's no little mini or anything like that. So far, so good. So we've got the polyhedral dice. These are actually really nice. These are very, very nicely done. And of course, you get multiple 6-siders, which is something that I've noticed Wizards of the Coast has been doing with their dice sets. I thought that's pretty cool. Pretty nice. So, it's freaking D&D Rick style. Aha. So, right away, the books that we had for Stranger Things were just paper. These are at least kind of soft bound like you're used to seeing modular adventures. So, this is the rule book. We've got the adventure. Yeah, I like this. D&D the Rick way. I happen to be a big fan of Rick and Morty. And it was funny because I thought, I was like, there better be Mr. Mises in here or else. And of course, I looked at the back of the box, and right on the back of the box, they're talking about Mises being in it. So here's our Dungeon Masters screen. So we'll take a look at that in a bit. Then we got our pre-gens. Then we've got Welcome Adventurer! Wubba lubba D&D. That's funny. So, yes, that's the comic that I was talking about. That was from, it's from Oni Press and IDW and Adult Swim and Wizards of the Coast. So, All right, so let's move some of this stuff off to the side. Cool dice. I'm liking those dice. And it's just the ad there on the bottom. So let's jump on into the rule book, because I have to say the D&D Essentials book was really, really nicely done. And this, at least production-wise, the quality is the same. It is, like I said, it's a nice soft-bound book as opposed to just paper. And this is actually clocking in at about $20. It's $19.95 MSRP. I'm sure you'll be able to find it for a bit less than that at online retailers as well. So it looks like we're going to get little sidebars from Rick through this. Playing D&D is good, but running it is total power load, Morty. Very excited that we've got a new season of Rick and Morty too now, so pretty sweet. So, cool. All right. Just taking a look through. So, looks like we'll have a little censored language in here. But kind of like the show is on Adult Swim. So this looks like this is pretty much just really giving you a true breakdown of the game in these areas here. And then we get kind of a little wise ass-ish Rick kind of explaining that. So, very cool, very nice. And I'm taking a guess some of this artwork is maybe being recycled from the comic book, the two comic book series. Okay, Morty, we're past the beginner blank. Getting into combat. Oh, hell no, son. That's pretty good. All right, so just kind of zipping on through here, taking a quick look. Damage and healing. I mean, really, this is effectively the same material, at least in here, from what I can see. Same kind of material that we've got in the Essentials kit, which I thought was fantastic. Just with a little more Rick. It's been ricked up. It's Pickle Rick! So we get adventuring. We're all hopeless power addicts, Morty. Okay. So I would also take a stab in the dark that you can use pre-gens from other adventures too. Don't necessarily have to go with the ones that they're giving you. So this must be Morty as a cleric here. So we've got the different spells. Jerry spell. Okay. That's kind of funny. Little notes. Kind of spells are kind of lame. Pure Jerry spell. Why help other people when you could jack yourself up with magic and kick more ass? So there you go. So I guess maybe they're considering like personal buff spells as Jerry spells. Okay. So we've got what, 64 pages. Oh, that's with the credits. So we're looking at 63 pages. We got a Appendix A and B. What is the effing points? The rules don't mean. Yeah, okay. All right. And then we've got what looks to be like almost like a Morty Goblin. So let's look at these pre-gens. We've got Morty's sister. We've got Ari Strongbow, who is a half-elf fighter. We've got Keir Braven, who is a half-elf wizard, which is Morty's dad. Then we got Morty, Kath Silverson, who is a chaotic good rogue, half-orc. Lynn, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. That is that's Morty's mom, and then Meatface, who I have no idea who that is. It's like, okay, I don't know. I have no idea. So of course there isn't a Rick because Rick is your dungeon master. So let's grab the adventure. I will just page through this very quickly because I don't want any spoilers out there. We'll just take a real quick peek. So it looks like we've got said it was 44 pages. So bit of an intro. And I'll tell you right now, just looking through this, and you know, I hate to go back to, you know, comparing this to the Stranger Things release, but at least this is an adventure. This is a real adventure. The one that was in Stranger Things was just ridiculous. It was supposed to be written by like a 10-year-old kid. It was like, yeah, okay. So nice. Okay. Pirate Room. And of course, the adventure is for characters levels 1 to 3. Get Swifty. There you go. It's a Swifty room. And you get Swifty. Sweet. That's. I wonder if the president shows up. So. I get a kick out of in the show how Keith David pops up to do different voices all the time. I thought that was kind of funny. John Oliver's done that as well. So has Stephen Colbert. Mama Owlbear Room. Okay, well, I'm saying stuff in here. I'm like kind of spoiling it. So Dungeons is Dragons. Got some magic items here. Just looks like pretty standard stuff. Ring of Protection. Wand of Magic Missiles. Got some creatures. And we get artwork for each. Oh, cool. There's a mimic. There you go. Anathic. There's the owlbear. Skeleton. Sturge. Twig blight. It's kind of funny because if I remember, and I'm sure somebody out there is going to correct me if I'm wrong. Someone on Twitter was just talking about Meepo, and I had just recently run the Sunless Citadel for my nephew Cameron and his girlfriend and a couple of his friends. And wasn't that the first appearance of twig blights? I'm almost positive that's the first time we saw twig blights. I'm not exactly sure. So we've got 44 pages. Listen up! You're in my dungeon now, Morty. At Earth C141. I'm a legendary D&D adventure writer. Oh, that's funny. I like this. I'm going to get a kick out of checking this out. And the funny thing, too, is the rulebook really is providing you with an introduction to Dungeons and Dragons. It's not an introduction just to Rick and Morty D&D. This essentially looked outside of, you know, we've got the extra sidebars and little boxes and that. It's the standard info, right? Okay, so we've got that. Let's take a look at this Game Master sheet. Like Game Master screen. What am I talking about? Sheet. So that's kind of funny. Very cool. The Essentials kit had this as well. In the Essentials kit, there was also a deck of cards that were pretty cool. And I am not one who actually uses cards too often. Well, here we see we've got a Rick Wizard. So and there's good old Meatface. I think that's what his name was, Meatface. All right. Ah, there we go. There's Jerry doing Jerry. So nice. This you are actually getting a decent amount of. I shouldn't say decent. It looks like you're getting quite a good amount of gaming content in the box here for $19.95. So we've got the pre-gens, we've got the GM screen, we've got the Lost Dungeon of Wickedness, Big Rick Energy Adventure, as well as the rulebook, and some pretty cool kind of trippy yellow and teal polyhedral dice. And that's what we find when we take everything from Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty outside the box. All right, there you have it. Our first look at Dungeons and Dragons versus Rick and Morty. As I mentioned before, this is going to arrive in stores on November 19th. I will do my damnedest to have a review video done before it hits stores. And it will carry an MSRP of $19.95. So that's it for this time out. If you like the video, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And if you do, don't forget, ring that little bell. It'll notify you not only when I upload standalone videos, but it will also inform you when the Daily Dope, my live stream Mondays through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central, starts up. So you'll get a notification of when I go live. And of course, when you are not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to go visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. So, until next time, happy trails. Zoobity-bitty-bitty-boo-boo. Zoobity-bitty-bitty-boo. Zabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-bum. Zibbit. Whoa, hey. I didn't realize that you were still here. Well, if that's the case, then allow me to share the following information with you that I only have 20 seconds to do. So let's all take a deep breath. So, if you would like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, please click right here. If you want to check out the latest episode of the Daily Dope, click right here. And if you'd like to check out a randomly selected standalone video, by all means, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thanks for watching.